Hello and welcome to another review. Today we're taking a look at Forgotten City, released in 2021. System specs: it requires a 4-core CPU, 8 gigs of RAM and the GTX 750. To start with, we are taking a look at the 720p low default preset. We're gonna take a stroll around the stairs, go right, and then come back. As far as I'm seeing, using DirectX 11, the average frame rate is about 97 frames per second, with a maximum of 144, 1% are low 50 frames per second, 0.1 about 9 frames per second. That means the experience is alright, but you will experience some stutters here and there. The default medium preset. Once again, we're gonna walk down the stairs, take a look down, have a look at the right, then left, come back. Average frames per second 59, maximum of 61, 1%, 35 frames per second, 0.1, 9 frames per second. This is a slight decrease, but an overall increase in quality. So if you're a fan of higher fidelity, I would definitely recommend the medium preset. Moving on, we're gonna increase the textures from medium to high and anti-aliasing to low. Starting off, gonna take a walk, look up and down the stairs, take a right, then a left. Average frames about 75 with a maximum of 100 frames per second, 1%, 49, 0.1, 22 frames per second. This is still a playable experience. Actually, the 0.1 are slightly better. Moving on, we're tweaking the medium preset, increasing the shadows quality to medium. This time we're gonna take another walk. Walking down the stairs. We can see the frame rate ranging around 60, maybe 80, but the average is around 63. A maximum of 87 frames per second, 1% low of 37 frames per second, and a 0.1 percentile of 9 frames per second. Moving on, we're going to tweak the medium preset to set anti-aliasing to high. Once again, we're doing a walk down the stairs. When we come down the stairs, we have an average of 54. In total, the average is about 69 frames per second, the maximum of 94, 1 percentile, 41 frames, and an average of 9 frames per second when it comes to the low 0.1s. Next up, we have the medium preset with increased visual effects. Coming down the stairs, we are reaching about 60 or 70 FPS. The average is about 60 frames per second, the maximum of 79, 1 percentile, 36 frames per second, and 0.1, 10 frames per second. This is still a playable experience, getting very close to the console style, as in 30 frames per second, but you will experience some dips here and there. Next up, we are increasing the default preset to high. Starting off, we are seeing values of 37, 41. With an average of 41 frames per second, a maximum of 50, and 1%, 17 frames per second, and 0.1% 6 frames per second. Finally, we're going to take a look at the Epic preset. Starting off, we are getting somewhere around 40, 42 frames per second. The average is about 40. Coming down the stairs, minimum frames being 30, with a maximum of 52, 1% low 28, and 0.1% 11 frames per second. That's it for this small walk around the Forgotten City. If you enjoyed this kind of benchmark, then let me know, and see you guys next time.